Hey, it's America's Supermom. Thank you for joining me on my podcast. This series is the Corona Chronicles. I created this so that we would have an outlet of positivity in the midst of a lot of negativity. You know what I'm talking about. All the news, the fear around this virus, how it can affect us, what the new normal is looking like, and how so many things have changed that a lot of people feel like um, it is the end of the world, so to speak. So, this podcast was created so that those of us who have hope, who are willing to move forward with this new normal and innovate new things that will help us to be creative and positive. That is what this platform is for us to come together and share that positivity and that light with those who may need it. So if you're interested in sharing your insight, please reach out because we can never have enough positive news. So sit back and enjoy the show.
I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I'm really excited about my next guest, Wendy Watkins. We actually met through Celebrate You, which is a group that we're in on Facebook. And we actually are contributors to a panel where we focus on mental wellness
Mm.
and making sure that we kind of are conscious about, the state of how we're doing in the face of a lot of obstacles and trials that we experience. And so we have come together, especially during this time with the pandemic, to have panel discussions once a month through our Facebook group. So
Hmm.
I'm really excited to have her here today. At this time, I'm going to give her the opportunity to tell us a little bit about her before we get into the interview.
Why, thank you, Lachelle. Yes, sitting here smiling about Celebrate You. It's such an amazing
Mhm.
group of women. And as we met each other, it's a great place to connect and network and learn
Mhm.
and grow. So hello, everyone. I am Wendy Watkins, and I am out here in the world being the spark that lights your fire. My,
Yeah.
I love being able to support people in living a life that they love. I've been
Mhm.
a professional coach now for, oh, it's about 20 years. When I first started
Mhm.
coaching, Lachelle, in 1999, when I got my certification, I'd say I was coaching. People would say, "Well, what sport do you coach?" I was, I was like, "Well, I coach, the sport of life."
Right.
And then, of course, that evolved into working with small business owners, which is truly my sweet spot of
Mhm.
helping business owners craft that delicious business and also keeping that balance in their life.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so that's what I do. I live here in Decatur, Georgia. I'm an author. I speak about joy. I wrote the Joy Factor recipe book,
Mm.
um, a common sense approach to a delicious life.
I love that.
Thank you. And
Mhm.
these days, I spend a little bit more time in my garden and kitchen
Mhm.
than I have been in my office. And that has been nice in July. I like Julys like that personally.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah. So
That is
that's what,
awesome. So
yeah.
now, so you were coaching for 20 years.
Yes.
Now it's kind of inundated field. It seems like
Yes.
everybody's a coach, but
Yes.
you were somewhat of a pioneer. So, what type of, I guess, habits or routines did you have in order to kind of be a trailblazer? Because you were a pioneer, at a time when
Yes.
coaching wasn't so popular. So, what was
Yes.
it you think that kind of made you unique and stand out to kind of have that desire to do something that wasn't,
Yeah.
paved for you, so to speak?
Well, that's just who I am, my friend.
Mhm. I love it. Okay.
I think, like I said, as I was listening to you, I was like, well, the spark that lights a fire, it's like lighting the path. Like I have been a pioneer in many things, an early
Mhm.
adopter, as they say. And
Mhm.
for me, and then when I found coaching, it was that defining moment, really, because I was
Mhm.
looking for ways to become a better mentor for another company I was working with. And all of a sudden, there was this coaching in front of me. And I was like, wow, because being a visionary, being someone that likes to look forward, coaching was the tool versus helping people through therapy or counseling, which is very valuable, just not my
Mhm.
MO. I'm not a history girl. I
Mhm.
don't want to do the research. I want to help people go where they're going. So I think that part of it as well was very inviting to me, to because coaching is all about taking people from where they are to where they want to go.
Mhm.
And that was just a
So true.
natural piece. You could look at, there's many different techniques and ways and essences, but essentially that's what
Mhm.
coaching is.
I love
And
that.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm. And that is so keen because, like I said, you have so many coaches and a lot of I guess the people that they're serving sometimes lack so much clarity
yes.
that they kind of get into this trap of or not really knowing what to look for in a coach. So, if you were to advise somebody who's listening who's like, okay, I know I'm not where I want to be and I know where I want to go, but how do I know who's the right coach for me? What kind of things
Mm.
should they be looking for?
Oh, that's a great question. I'd say, well, there's a couple things. There's like who
Mhm.
they are and what their training is, right? I think those
Mhm.
two things, who they are as a person. You must resonate with your coach fully,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
you want to make sure you can talk to them beforehand and have a
Mhm.
conversation, um, get a referral, talk to other clients.
Mhm.
And then if it's important to you, which I believe it's important to be professionally trained,
Mhm.
so like, coaching, it's not just about helping someone lay out a plan. I mean, we can all do that. Michelle, you can do that. We all know how to
Mhm.
create plans, and it's
Mhm.
easy to do it for other people, right? That's the
Mhm.
easiest. But
Mhm.
coaching is about being able to ask the right questions and listen
Mhm.
to what is within the client, and then
Mhm.
finding a way from a place of non-attachment to
Mhm.
help your clients see the possibilities and make their own decision on what their plan is and the
Mhm.
directions they want to go. From there, it's then about if they want accountability. Some people want accountability, some people just need clarity. Then they're ready to go, like you said, right? Some people
Mhm.
just don't know. So they may just need to spend a day with a coach, right? Like I do these VIP days where you just spend the day and we dive in. I
Mhm.
create an experience to create clarity, and they can just take it and run, where others will then want some accountability and to continue to have these conversations focused on them reaching their goals. So,
Mhm. So good. Those are some good things to definitely bring light to. So, the book, The Joy, let's see, you said The Joy Factor. So, right now, when we have a lot of negative news, we have a
mm,
lot of gloom and doom, we have a lot of people who are, displaced, unemployed, some are sick, recovering, or whatever. What is a few takeaways that you could give the audience about having joy right now?
well, I think the one thing I had an early on when I started learning about personal development, I was introduced to Louise Hay. Do you know Louise
Mhm.
Hay? Lizelle, of
Mhm.
course.
Mhm.
And what I love about Louise's work is, she's about affirmations and putting your mind on the positive, which is all well and good. However,
Mhm.
when it's so hard like this, an affirmation is not enough. The first
Mhm.
piece, what I remember her telling us was that you have to love and accept yourself where you are to be able to
Mhm.
change.
Mhm.
Right. So even in those, those hardest places of being able to
Mhm.
know, find that way to know whether you're spiritual, religious, whatever your God or universe says, that we all feel like things happen the way they're supposed to. If you do, and
Mhm.
as I do, there's a
Mhm.
there's a, a divine timing and an order for things. So when I could let go and trust that, accept where I am and feel that sadness and grief and not
Mhm.
resist it,
Mhm.
and then try and grab onto a thought that makes me just feel a little bit better. I think it's unrealistic to think you can go from sadness to joy by
Mhm.
just flipping a switch. Now, some people can, and because sometimes
Mhm.
you got to put it on, and you got to get up and feed the kids. You know what I mean? You got to do
Mhm.
what you got to
Mhm.
do. But in
Mhm.
your private moments of taking that time in your self care, which is key self
Mhm.
care time to reflect on what are you feeling, and to know this too shall pass,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
and 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 God, I heard this parable, a meditation that I was doing about this too shall pass that changed my whole concept of that. Oh
Mm.
gosh, I don't even know if I could tell the story correctly. It was so eloquently written.
Mhm.
But the bottom line is that, we say this too shall pass when things are not going well, right?
Mhm.
But it's also to remember that this too shall pass is what needs to be said when things are going well, because
Mm.
it's a cycle.
Mhm.
The sun
Mhm.
goes up, the sun goes down, the tide goes in, the tide goes out. We have
Mhm.
open, expansive lives, or we're contracted.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
being able to accept where you are, knowing that it's going to change, and sometimes knowing it's going to change the other way, sometimes makes it go, oh wait a minute, celebrating all this
Mhm.
good and forgetting that I'm enjoying the ride, not in the correct way. I'm only enjoying the good parts and not making friends. Not
Mm.
saying you have to enjoy, but aligning with and not resisting
Mhm.
the negative, quote, negative experiences.
So true. And I mean,
Mm.
just like the whole thing of recognizing that it's the yin and the yang, it's the push
Mm.
and the pull, because,
Mm-hmm.
just for me with having children, it's like, oh, you're excited about having a baby, but, you got to deliver that baby. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's a whole nother process. Okay. We are not excited about that, but you got to take the good with the bad, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I totally get that. So for
Yes.
somebody who is, what recommendations would you give them? Because now people they're a little bit more flexible, because they've been in this space where they haven't had control of the changes that they've been forced to make. So they're kind of a little bit more open to change because we've been forced
Mm.
into it. But for
Mm.
somebody who's like, you know what, I'm reflecting and I don't like the way I've been doing things and I want to do better, what are some small steps that they can start taking during this time to get them on the path where they want to go?
So, you got me on that. Let me think. There's like four options that are floating right around
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to think of a experience right now that one of my clients was very unclear about the direction that she wanted to go. And I
Mhm.
shared with her about taking a wonder walk.
Mm.
And this is very simple: to leave your house, take a walk early in the morning or in the evening, please.
Mhm.
Avoid the midday. Well, I
Mhm.
say that because the heat kind of freaks me out. For some people, it may be amazing, but so that's just my thing right there. So I'll let that go. You can edit that out, Michelle. So, and then, and leave with a question. What's next for me, or show me a sign, or asking some type of pondering question,
Mhm.
and then take a walk with curiosity.
Mm.
And, when you get to, you have to make a left or a right,
Mhm.
say, well, let's see, if I was standing here thinking about what my next steps are, what helps me decide which way to go? You know what I mean? Just like be
Yeah.
curious with yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
Notice things that you pick up. And this is great for people that can easily make things up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, be able to take what is present and use that as a sign, because that's what they
Mm.
are. That's
Mhm.
exactly what they are. So
Mhm.
sometimes that can open up possibilities, just getting out, taking a walk.
Mhm.
Another is calling a friend.
Mhm.
Just picking up the phone and calling someone and seeing how they are and then sharing how you are. And
Mm.
sometimes getting over there with other people help us to remember we're not alone and
Mhm.
that other people are going through things and that they can do it. And then the
Mhm.
third thing is to remember a time when you had a challenge in your life and
Mhm.
how you overcame that.
Mhm.
So to actually
Mhm.
journal that, right? To just journal, well, when I had a breakup or the last time I lost my job or when money was really tight,
Mhm.
I found and we can then remember 'cause there's always evidence, but we tend to forget it.
Right. That is so good. That's good right there. That's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So those type of reflections, reaching out, getting curious, and using whatever way works for you, because those three different ways, right? One is
Mhm.
moving around, using your body. If you're someone that's kinesthetic and likes to move, the other is
Mhm.
more of the audio, the talking, the listening with
Mhm.
someone, and then there's the writing as well.
Mhm.
So everybody resonates with different ways. And
Mhm.
so trying to uncover and if you don't know what your way is, then try them all and see which one you like
Right.
the best.
Right.
Or change them up every now and again.
Absolutely. I love that because, I think the element of curiosity is the thing. As we
Yes.
evolve to adults, it's like we leave that part of who we are behind and,
Yes.
we get into the routine, the structure, which, I mean, there's a place for that.
Yes.
But a lot of the learning, evolving, creativity is lost with the lack of curiosity,
Yes.
and just accepting things as they are, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's good. Now, so what kind of routines do you do in order for you to stay, curious, ever learning, evolving? What are some things that you do to keep you in that mindset?
Well, it's interesting because I'm someone that loves change, especially on
Mhm.
small scale. I love changing things around. I'm driving my husband crazy all the time. Hang these pictures. Let's move the couch. He's like, oh, for God's sake, what? I like to change the side of the bed. I like to
Mhm.
change my hair color.
Mhm.
All I like change in that way.
Mhm.
I think though, being able to find those rituals that um, have you feel good,
Mhm.
make it a little easier to make change. So, Michelle, say the question again. I kind of went off on that,
Oh
and
no,
my
you were
mind.
good. So I was saying, what keeps you in the mindset to always be ready to evolve? Because
Oh
some
yeah, just
people,
yeah, yeah,
they get stuck. Like even now, we've had to pivot with being online
yes,
instead of face to face, right?
yes,
So some
yes,
people are like, "Oh, what is Zoom? How do I do it?" and all this stuff.
yes, yes,
So how do
yes,
you keep yourself relevant when it comes to that kind of thing?
yeah, yeah. You know, I think that I stay connected through my colleagues. Right?
Mhm.
And you talk about curious. I'm curious with them. I'm watching what they're doing.
Mhm.
When I'm online and or exercising or I see something that's interesting, I like
Mhm.
I let my curiosity out, and
Mhm.
try it.
Mhm.
Um, there's been a blessing right now with COVID around for some people, not everybody. I know it's not true for everybody, but a little bit more time to do
Mm.
things that we weren't able to do. So I think that also helps with the curiosity
Mhm.
because you have time to poke around. You just don't have to go get something else, the next thing done, the next thing done. It could be
Right.
very busy.
Mhm.
So having time
Mhm.
to and to remember that you can make a decision to do something and if you don't like it, you
Mhm.
can change it.
Mhm.
Unless it's a
Mhm.
tattoo. That's pretty much the only thing I
Right.
think that
And
you
even
know what I
that they
mean?
even removed those,
Yes.
okay?
So I think a lot of people don't want to change. Matt said something we were talking about changing employment and different things, and he said,
Mhm.
"What's that statement? The devil you know is better than the devil you don't." So a
Mm.
lot of people like to stay where they are because even though it may not be so good, it's what I know.
Right.
Like if you don't try, you'll never know. So you could change your mind. That's it. Just
Mhm.
remember, you could change your mind. And for me, sometimes I'll just practice small. So I
Mhm.
said, I do the little things that so
Mhm.
when the big changes come, then it makes it a little easier.
Yeah, I so agree with that. I mean, for me, having 10 of our 15 kids at home, I mean, we're kind of used to
Yeah,
change. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I can't imagine that that's the only thing consistent in your life, right? I mean, that's it every
Exactly.
day.
Exactly. And I was an only child.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everything has changed. It's always new. The first one to graduate from graduate school, then you've got the first one to go to kindergarten. I mean, and then it's a bunch of firsts with each child. So even though it's a familiar experience, it's their first. So you remember that it's new for them. So you're constantly in that mode of remembering that this is a memory for them for the first
Yes,
time. So
yes.
that freshness stays there, but it's like a revolving door. You can go out of the room and somebody's in a certain mood, come back. It's like, where did that child go? They're doing something different, right?
What have you done with my child? Who are you? And what
Right,
have you
invasion
done?
of the body snatchers, right?
Yes, yes. Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, so change, so even like now, it's like this is, even though this is a pandemic, which many of us have not experienced, the
Yes.
whole thing of being into a source of rapid change, that to me is familiar. So it's really been a situation to where it just hasn't affected me or even my kids sometimes. Now I've had some who have had panic attacks, or, they
Mm-hmm.
have trouble
Mm-hmm.
sleeping during this time, but for the most part, they're used to a lot of change. So this is really not affecting them like it could be some other people that, are really trying to maneuver through this. So it really can be a
Mm-hmm.
challenge. Now, so
Mm-hmm.
what are some books or podcasts that you would recommend to the listeners in order to, kind of move forward during this time?
Well, I got, the Joy Factor recipe book, A Common Sense
Awesome.
Approach to a Delicious Life. It's
Right.
a perfect book, especially for people that love food and personal
Mm,
development, because that's I talk about it being, we have, every day we choose a different recipe, right? Life is like a cookbook.
mhm.
And
Mhm.
every day, depending on the ingredients that we use, impacts how delicious our day is going to be. So I talk
I
about
love
different
that.
ingredients to make a delicious life. So you could find that on my website or Amazon.
Okay.
And so there, oh, that question. Of course, I go to mine first. One other book that I think is fabulous in many ways. Have you read Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass?
I haven't read that. Now my daughter has that, and
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I've heard that's really good.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's how to
Mhm.
stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life, because each of us
Mhm.
have that greatness within us. And when you feel that, and it doesn't come from ego, but when you feel that
Right.
greatness of confidence, it's going to become easier for you to create change.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, because that's the game changer. I know in my
Yeah.
case,
Oh,
overcoming
yeah.
depression,
Yes.
it was
Yes.
like not
Yes.
seeking that validation is huge, you
Yes.
know?
Absolutely. I totally get it. I totally
Mhm.
get it. So,
Mhm.
that is one that I would recommend. As for podcasts, I have not been listening recently.
Okay.
I've been taking so many classes right now
Oh, this is
that,
awesome.
yeah, that I've been listening, and the classes have all been down a whole, I feel like I'm in a whole new school
Right.
of education right now. So, I'm leaning more towards any podcast, and like the podcast I listen to the most right now is called Seeing White.
I know that's right. I feel you. Okay. I
So
feel you.
I'm back in school, girl. I'm like, wait a minute, something not right here. What did I miss? I gotta backtrack and hurry up. What the heck?
I love it
So
though, and I love the fact that, here you are maximizing this time and learning. So many people, the time is gonna pass whether we decide to learn or not.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
you might
yeah.
as well learn while you can. There's
Yeah.
so many free courses and
Yes.
just opportunities to really expand and, get in a new space to,
Yes.
really, you have more opportunities the more
Yes.
you think about expansion than if you stay, into that current space where you're already at. So that's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what I've been listening to. And I've also been another thing that has been humbling in the learning is I'm learning to play my ukulele.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I've mastered the hokey pokey and
Oh,
this little light of mine. So
that's amazing. Yeah, so talk to us about how the music is making a difference.
oh, it's just a stress relief. I mean,
Mhm.
it's that little ukulele. It sounds so sweet, and I can't get it. It's sometimes it doesn't sound so sweet when I don't get the chords right. But
Mhm.
just strumming and picking and playing without any attachment to having to do anything or get anything done or
Mhm.
figure it out or change or this. I can just sit there for a few minutes,
Mhm.
and it just kind of shifts my energy a little bit.
Mhm.
So,
I love that.
um, yeah, so that's what
Mhm.
that's what I'm seeing it right now. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good. So, that's
yeah,
some great advice for people to think about. There is no right or wrong, but, really kind of taking those actions to create the space that you want.
yes,
Nobody's going to
absolutely,
do it for you. You got to do it yourself. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. This
So
is the
true.
time. I mean, it truly is the
Mhm.
time now to reset. I've
Yeah.
said this from the beginning, which I can't believe I'm going to say is in March, for goodness sakes, but you know, that we all have been sent to our room to think about what we have done.
Right.
And now when we come out, how are we going to be different? So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Mhm. I
yeah.
love that. Now, so what's the best way for the audience to get a hold of you?
Um, you can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn. So Wendy
Mhm.
Watkins.
Mhm.
Find me there personally, or my group Joy Jammers on
Mhm.
Facebook. My
Mhm.
website wendywatkins.com.
Mhm.
And you could call me 404
Mhm.
284
Mhm.
0188. I love to chat. I'm an
Awesome.
old school girl, so it's
Hey.
nice.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's how people could find me. And I love
Awesome.
to connect with other like minded people to learn and grow with.
Love that. Well,
Like you, my dear.
yes,
Thank you for this
I'm so
call. This has been
excited.
wonderful.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited that we were able to connect and, just being able to be around somebody and then to find out you're not that far from me. We're
I know.
probably
I
like
know.
25 minutes away from each other. So imagine that. So this
Yeah.
is
Love it.
wonderful. So now what final words would you want to leave the audience with?
Um, You are the chef of your delicious life. So find the right ingredients and mix them in. Put your attention on what you desire. Be grateful for what you have and enjoy a delicious life.
I love that. Very good. Food for thought for us to think about. That's awesome. Well,
Awesome, Michelle. Thank you
thanks
so
so much.
much.
You are so welcome, and I will be chatting with you here soon. We're going to have another meeting, I'm sure, again shortly for our panel for mental wellness.
Yes. Oh, I hope
Yes.
so. Yes, yes.
Mhm. So you have a great evening, okay?
You too, Michelle. Take care. Enjoy your broccoli.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this episode. I really enjoy providing content that inspires and challenges us to be a better version of ourselves. If you are interested in being a guest on the show, please email me at info@lachelleatkins.com. You can also reach out to me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, or my YouTube channel. If there was something in this episode that resonated with you, it probably will resonate with someone else. So please share it. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. But those aha moments, those moments of really getting something and changing your perspective are very, very pivotal in having people change the trajectory of their lives. And so being able to share insightful information so that other people can grow is the easiest thing that we can do as we pay it forward. So again, I want to thank you all for listening. And if you have time, write out a review. Go to iTunes, Anchor, wherever you can find this podcast on any of those platforms, and write a review about what impact this episode had on you, what you learned, or whatever. Any feedback is great because it just helps me to understand what content is really beneficial for those that are listening. So again, I want to thank you all for your support and taking the time to spend some time with me and my guests. And I wish you a wonderful day. Thanks for listening.